Anticipating the event coming. Like I said, this caught us off guard.
First step for Voodoo Fest 2021 is a no-go.
Why one of the most popular music fests in the city, and really the country for that matter, will go silent this fall.
And it's looking beautiful out now, but it's hot and humid. And you know what? It's going to get hotter. I've got those numbers.
After a 13-month hiatus, music is back in Preservation Hall tonight. Hear from the musicians who are more than excited to play again.
But first this afternoon, we begin with breaking news. Take a look here at your screen right now. Police sources say cops have an arrest warrant out for this man. He's accused of killing a woman in the 7th Ward during a carjacking. That's 46-year-old Brian Andrew, now accused of stabbing Portia Pollock Tuesday right in front of her home and then stealing her car. That's according to cops close to this case.
And WDSU investigates can confirm that Andrew was out on bond when he allegedly killed Pollock. Charged with a similar crime, his bond was reduced just a few months ago, allowing him to leave jail. This man, seen in video released by cops from the 7th Ward murder scene, is Brian Andrew. He's accused in the horrific stabbing, death, and carjacking of Portia Pollock in the 1500 block of Durgeois Street. And the most shocking part of all this, Andrew was in jail about 4 months ago, charged with a similar crime. Court records show he was arrested in June of last year for a carjacking in the 1900 block of Frenchman Street, just over a mile from where Pollock was killed this week. His bond for that crime in 2020 was set at $250,000 by former Judge Franz Ziblich, and Andrew remained jailed. But in February, newly elected Judge Angel Harris, who defeated Ziblich in the November election, reduced Andrew's bond to about $100,000. He was able to post it and leave. In a written statement through a courthouse spokesperson, the judge says, the minutes from February 1st, 2021 reflect the court reduced Mr. Andrew's bond to allow him an opportunity to pursue drug rehabilitation. He was placed on an ankle monitor, which the judge claims was working, saying, to my knowledge, the court, in this case, did not receive any violation reports regarding Mr. Andrew. And Andrew is no stranger to the NOPD or the criminal justice system. Take a look at his arrest history in New Orleans. It goes all the way back to 1991, when he was arrested on his first charge. Then in 1993, he was picked up again for illegal possession of stolen things and illegal possession of a firearm. Over the years, the arrest mounted. In 1998, he pleaded guilty to simple burglary and was sentenced to 6.5 years behind bars. And when he got out, the arrest just kept coming, according to records. Arrested multiple times in 2004, then DA Eddie Jordan charged him as a habitual offender when he was arrested for simple burglary. Court records show that Andrew pleaded guilty as charged to that crime in 2005 and agreed to serve 15 years in jail at hard labor at the Department of Corrections. That means if he did the entire 15-year stretch, he would have been in jail until the spring of last year. Police also tell us that despite what the court says, Andrew's ankle monitor was not working, and that's why they're still trying to locate him. If you have information on Brian Andrew's whereabouts, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers or police. To hear reaction from Pollock's family on this matter, go right now to WDSU.com.
This afternoon's other top story, just as festivals and live music start to fill New Orleans once again, an abrupt announcement today from Voodoo Fest. Organizers say they are canceling this year's festival that brings a lot of money to the city. And leaders for the festival's venue, which is City Park, said they were caught off guard. WDSU reporter Aubrey Killian joins us live from City Park. And Aubrey, you talked to city leaders as well as fans. What did they tell you?
Hey, that's right. So Voodoo Fest can bring in as many as 75,000 people right here at City Park. So you might be wondering, why is this massive event canceling? So take a look. Let me walk you through the new details that we are learning today about this very big announcement. So the event is not giving specifics on why they're canceling, only saying that they're taking a pause in 2021 and will return to City Park for an epic Halloween experience in 2022. Some fans, of course, are heartbroken and say they were looking forward to this big event. Mayor Cantrell says there was no communication from the city to Voodoo Fest organizers that they could not proceed. Today, her office also confirmed that permits have not been issued for French Quarter Fest and Jazz Fest, but nor have those festivals submitted their applications just yet. All those details, they are still being worked out.
These organizers have to make decisions based on the conditions and that they're faced with, whether it's talent, whether it's the financing associated with. So I absolutely respect the decision made as it relates to October. With one kind of removing itself from the list, it allows us to breathe a little bit more. And what I mean by that is the public safety team collectively that has to be in place and to respond to festival goers and making sure that people are safe.
The music industry definitely needs this. People need to be able to go out and perform and get back to the norm just as much as everyone else needs to get jobs and things of that nature.
And I also spoke with one local councilman about the future of music festivals right here in New Orleans. You don't want to miss what he had to say coming up on WDSU News at 5 o'clock. Reporting live, I'm Aubrey Killian, WDSU News.
All right, Aubrey, thank you. There are 3 other festivals in New Orleans you can still enjoy this October. Look at your screen here. You've got French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest, and Fried Chicken Fest all happening this fall.
Let's take a live look outside and talk about the weather. It is hot outside. That's the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in the Smoothie King Center. A pretty nice day if you're trying to get out, though, and do anything. Chief Meteorologist Margaret Orr live in the Weather Center. And I always say this, Margaret, for June, it's not raining and it's not blazing hot, although we're pretty close to blazing hot.
Well, it is hot. So far, the high temperature, 90 degrees. But wait, I've got to say I'm fasting because the weather isn't too bad right now, right? So here is a look at your high. We hit 90. That's the average high, not 96, which is the record. And this morning, we did drop a little bit into the upper 70s, still above that average. So there is a little bit of rain out there. Here is a look, and you can see right there on the south shore, we've got this onshore flow pumping in the moisture. Here's this bit of rain just south of Kenner. It's moving to the northeast right there over Wagaman. Then you go to the north shore and look. We've got these storms. This one is going to be moving into Kentwood. You can see a storm very close to Sun, north of Franklinton and north of Varnado. Meanwhile, you look to the north, we've had strong storms here, and that set up a boundary that helped this rain develop on the north shore. So in a moment, when that will dissipate and how hot it's going to be tomorrow.
All right, Margaret, thank you. Happening right now, another carjacking in the city of New Orleans. This one leading to a high-speed chase along I-10 and ending with a wreck in the city of Kenner and the arrest of a suspect. And as Heath Allen tells us, it's the latest in a growing string of violent crimes in the Crescent City.
About 5:55 a.m. we were notified of a pursuit on Interstate 10 that was heading toward Kenner.
The NOPD says an early morning carjacking at knife point occurred in the 12,000 block of the South I-10 service road. Police later spotted the vehicle, and the suspect fled on Interstate 10 with New Orleans police in pursuit. As the chase crossed the parish line, Jefferson Parish Sheriff's deputies also became involved, as did Kenner police when the vehicle exited onto Williams. The chase ended in a wreck. The suspect, identified as 49-year-old Isidore Foreman, apprehended.
You can see that the vehicle was crashed. It struck another vehicle on Williams. That driver was injured, but it was minor injuries, and the vehicle ended up right here. The suspect of the pursuit was taken into custody. He's in custody with Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office right now.
And certainly we expect to get updated information from the New Orleans Police Department as the investigation continues and this day progresses. Guys, back to you.
Heath, thank you. We are following more breaking news from the NOPD. 4 more arrests in the case of a 12-year-old girl shot and killed in New Orleans. That brings the total to 5 people accused in the killing of Tadrania Peters. The shooting happened at a graduation party on Delray Street over the Memorial Day weekend.
I'm just crazy over you.
You love to hear it. The music is back. After being closed for more than a year because of COVID-19 restrictions, the sweet jazz sounds will be heard from Preservation Hall once again. The celebrated New Orleans venue is opening its doors for live shows starting tonight. And let me tell you, it is just in time for a big milestone. WDSU anchor Sherman DeSalle joins us live from the French Quarter. And Sherman, tell us about this celebration.
Yeah, it's a very good celebration indeed. 60 years, the 60th year for the Preservation Hall. Imagine having 350 shows a year and then being dwindled to nothing. The last show was March 14, 2020, during the height of the pandemic. Now, this important music space, this jazz venue, it's dedicated to the preservation of jazz music, but it dates back even further than that, to the 1950s. And that's when the creative director, Ben Jaffe, the son of the founders, Alan and Sandra Jaffe, he says, to know the musicians who are the heartbeat of this city can safely come back to this sacred space and do what they love, it'll bring joy back to the hall and the people. We spoke with a very special trumpet player, Wendell Bruni, as he says he's been anxious to be back in this space for a while to give people a memorable experience.
It's kind of what we do. That's what we do for a living. Try to make people happy and perpetuate this music and the culture that this music is from. We got a fun job, man, and we've been missing that fun.
Wendell is a bad man, I'm telling you, a very bad man when it comes to music and that trumpet and the piano. But coming up at 5 p.m., we're going to hear more about his experience on the night of March 14th. He was actually here before the venue shut down. And all the tickets for tonight, 5, 6, and 7:30, they're sold out. Reporting from the French Quarter, Sherman DeSalle, WDSU News.
And they're off. The LSU Tigers are currently en route to Knoxville for their huge Super Regional Series against the Tennessee Volunteers. Coming up next, we'll hear from head coach Paul Maneri, and he'll tell you why he expects his team to make history this weekend.
And a new movement takes over homes across the city to support the LGBTQ plus community during Pride Month. We're going to tell you the motivation behind it and how you can take part in a special parade of homes. At 4:12, as we go to break, let's give you a live look at traffic on this Thursday. You're watching WDSU News at 4. We'll be back.